Hello, I'm the Libertarian Muslim. I asked a difficult question, so you don't have to. Yes, I stole that from Nostalgia Critic. Sue me. Just kidding. Please don't sue me. I'm a big fan, and there's a reason I brought up Doug Walker in the first place. From the title, as you can see, this whole concept of calling something the left, that a lot of big YouTubers, ones that I'm actually subscribed to, such as Computing Forever, Paul Joseph Watson, and just many politicians in general tend to use. Which, by the way, this is not really a hate video on them, because I'm still subscribed to them, and I'm still a big fan of them. But just, there is a problem with using such phrases as the left. Because you're making too many assumptions about too many people. A friend of mine has sent me this link of a website called 8 Values. Basically, this is like a political spectrum test, but it's more complicated, and it's even better. I know many people have done the political compass test, which separates economic access from the societal access. This is even more complicated than that, and more specific, which I love. And no wonder, Milo Yiannopoulos was the one who actually posted that, and my friend got it from him. This actually divides it into 4 accesses. One of them is the economic, the other one is diplomatic, the third one is civil, and the fourth one is societal. This is a very good scale. This was actually one of my biggest problems with the other, the political compass. Which, by the way, this is not really a hate on political compass, because political compass still has more details than just a random, left and right. Because come on, Stalin and Gandhi are both left. Really? That's stupid. This, though, separates way more, and the economic is the traditional left versus right, where in the economic, the left is generally the equality one, and the right is to give it to the market, which is generally what the economic axis between left-wing politicians and right-wing politicians are. Then after diplomatic, it's nation versus world. See, this was a big one. I'll get back on this later. And after that is the civil, liberty versus authority. See, this one was the whole society having freedom, don't smoke weed, and, you're allowed to smoke weed if you want. Actually, in fact, I feel like you shouldn't even watch this video until you do the quiz first. So I'm going to put the quiz in the first link in the description, so this is something that will really help you understand yourself better. But don't read the description before you do it. You just got to be honest with yourself and just do it. And then the fourth one is societal, which is tradition versus progress. See, the problem with most scales, including the political compass, which was a good scale, was that it kind of combined all 3 of these into just up versus down, and then the economic is just economic. Here's the thing, though. Calling stuff like the left, you're criticizing so many people who are possibly on your side. See, the thing is, let's leave diplomatic and economic alone. But when it comes to civil, many have this in common, including, see, economically, I'm going to use an example, Sargon of Akkad. I'm going to use this big name. Sargon of Akkad is kind of a centrist left, while Computing Forever is a right wing in terms of economics. However, I bet you they're both the same in terms of civil. They're both on the side of liberty and freedom, free speech. And now, that is the thing that needs to be addressed. Now, of course, it would be hard for every time someone makes a video saying, "Oh, you know what, the left, excluding the civil liberty one." I know, and generally, they're not wrong to say it's the left-wingers that are, kind of getting more authoritarian. They're not wrong because of extra laws, especially in Canada, where, there's new laws being added, like the anti-Islamophobia law. See, that's kind of an authoritarian thing. But we need to find a better way to actually address these people. Because I myself would be considered, left-winger. Economically, yeah, I'm actually a little centrist left as well. However, on the other 3, I probably have nothing in common with Sargon of Akkad or Computer or a lot of people from YouTube. We're all different, and we're all just more complicated than that. Now, of course, I don't want to make a new scale for every specific person, but it's so bad to put everybody who just, believes in or even with the nation one, everyone who loves their nation and thinks their nation has a good culture, oh, they're all only Republicans can do that. No, Democrats could love their nation and be super, for their culture being better. Like one of the questions of the quiz is our culture better? The thing is, I actually think yes, Western culture is better, and I have proof behind it. But it doesn't mean I'm a Republican. Economically, I'm quite left-winger. In fact, societal is the weird one. See, usually, but it's not always the case. Donald Trump is the first example to disprove this. But usually, Republicans economically are more right-wing, so they're for markets. Diplomatically, they're more for the nation. And civil, they're more authority. However, with Donald Trump, economically, he's actually quite centrist, although he's still pretty right-wing. But him having the free healthcare is kind of a left thing. Economically, you can use the word left. Now, with Donald Trump, he also, in terms of civil, he's kind of, again, in between liberty and authority. Because it would have been authoritarian if he banned gay marriage, and it would have been liberty if he said, oh yeah, let's keep gay marriage, everyone, gays are allowed to get married. However, he literally went in between and said, let's leave it to the state. So it's more complicated than that. And honestly, even Trump, you can't just label him as the right. He does have a lot of stuff in common with the right. Now, this quiz, I highly recommend everybody do it. In fact, I'm going to talk about this quiz a lot because this 8 values quiz is way more accurate in what we are. Now, maybe we can divide more, but I don't have a really good solution, but just calling the left is bad because you're literally making enemies of people who aren't your enemies. So every time, which by the way, I have nothing against criticism, but I'm saying every time you criticize somebody from the left and just put them as all the left, you're also criticizing people who are pretty much on your side, but maybe not economically. And I feel like me and Paul Joseph Watson, we probably have a lot in common, with the exception of economic. I feel like economically I'm more left than he's more right. But besides that, we probably have everything else in common. And yet, when he criticizes the left, he puts me as everything that I'm not. Like those authoritarians who want to, close free speech, and just those feminazis who just want to destroy men, just raise women's salaries like what they did in Sweden last year. That's a problem. And and I'm not really taking it personally, because if I did it, I wouldn't subscribe to him. I'm still subscribed to him, big fan. I really hope one of them watches, like either Computer Forever, Paul Joseph Watson, or Sargon. I've loved it. But I'm just saying, every time you just use these languages, you just criticize a bunch of people, and some of them might agree with you on pretty much everything, except economy. Like, I feel like the only scale we should ever use the left is economically, because that actually makes sense, and that's kind of something that's pretty well known. So doesn't even need to change. Now, there are some stuff that they are right, like generally, like feminists are generally, actually not generally, most of them are left wingers economically. And see, when it comes to stuff like that, yeah, that makes sense. But I would say I would even label them extreme left, because if you want to just randomly give everyone equal pay, that's just socialism. That's just communism, which has never worked and is terrible. And see, that's another thing we have in common. We both hate communism. So this is another thing. I'm just, I know it sounds like I feel offended. I'm just defending myself. But I'm just overall trying to make sure the wrong people don't get attacked. Criticize is good, but sometimes you're criticizing people who literally are agreeing with you, yet you're criticizing them. That almost doesn't even make sense. Why are you disagreeing with me when I'm actually defending you? It's such a weird thing. So please tell me in the comment section what do you think, and please do the quiz and tell me what you got. If you care what I got, I actually for economic exit I got centrist left. For diplomatic, oh wait, I don't remember. Oh, I have my result right here. Let me see. Oh yeah. So for economic, I got centrist. For diplomatic, I got balanced. For civil, I got liberal, and for societal, I got progressive. So which would all put me as liberalism. That's the closest matching, by the way. Just a little side note: the closest match, even the site admit it's not the best thing, but it's just trying to give you an idea of what you are. The main thing is though the fact that there is 4 skill. This is one of my favorite things actually, because of the whole 4 skill thing. because now it actually divides it better. Anyway, please tell me what you think of this idea of let's stop criticizing the left and actually having better phrasing for this. And also, please do the quiz and tell me what you got in the comment section below. I'm curious if anyone who's watching me or subscribed to me, what their political biases or sides are. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember, my name is Ali Alex, and I will be the doctor that's going to cure the cancer known as feminism.